What's up, y'all? It's Middleman TV. Today we got to talk about Devin Haney's dominating performance, what should be next for him, and stuff that's going around in the boxing world. So since Devin Haney put on the masterclass performance, and he did put on a masterclass performance, it was an absolute beautiful performance, arguably to me, the best performance of his career. We have to ask ourselves, what's next? Devin Haney made a post and he said he's fighter of the year. And that's real debatable, you know. Beating Lomachenko and beating Regis Prograis in 1 year. I mean, first of all, most fighters only fight once a year. Like, a lot of these fighters out here are not active. Like Gervonta Davis, he fought Ryan Garcia and he fought Hector Garcia early in January, but those are his only two fights. To me, Regis and Loma is definitely a better resume than those two guys. Terrence Crawford dominated Earl Spence, so that was a great win. And the way he did it in dominating fashion, to me, is between Terrence Crawford and Devin Haney for fighter of the year, or Teofimo Lopez, because the way Teofimo Lopez came back after a bad performance, you know, I think he should be an honorable mention as well. But there's a lot of guys out here who had good performances this year. But I want to talk about Devin Haney versus Gervonta Davis. And the fight needs to happen now. I've been talking to a lot of boxing fans out there, and people are tired of waiting, man. You know, after seeing Devin Haney put on a dominating performance and us realizing that he's elite and he's really great and he's really a lot bigger than we thought he is, we need to see Devin Haney versus Gervonta Davis. Now, granted, a lot of people like to throw out the narrative that Devin Haney's the one trying to prolong the fight, and, you know, he's scared of Gervonta Davis, and Gervonta Davis has tried to make this fight happen for years. But that's just a flat out lie. Gervonta's team, I hear them talking all the time. You got Calvin Ford, you got Kenny Ellis, and this entire team, they're trying to be the cash cows their whole entire careers without taking major risks. They're just trying to fight fighters that are popular. They've been doing this their whole career. They're really smart. They target Mexican fighters because they know Mexican fighters bring in the most fans. Mexican fighters have the biggest fan base in boxing. Everyone knows that. They've always had the biggest fan base in boxing. So by Gervonta fighting Mexicans and knocking them out, essentially, he's becoming a fan favorite, so to speak, because he's not just beating them, he's knocking them out. But what people don't understand and realize is these fighters, that style that he's fighting is tailor-made for Gervonta Davis to knock these guys out. Leo Santa Cruz started off at 112 pounds. He was really small, really good fighter, but just way too small for Gervonta Davis. So was that really an impressive win? I don't think so. He beat Rolly Romero. To this day, people say he's the worst champion to ever exist. He has no skill. People saying Regis Prograis had no skill. Rolly Romero has even less skill. But if you ask Gervonta's team, they'll try to hype up that win like Rolly's better than Regis. So, I mean, it's a good win. It's not a good win. It's a horrible win. And by the way, Rolly Romero was winning rounds against Gervonta. And also, you know, losing rounds to Mario Barrios before the knockout. Mario Barrios was weight drained. In his last fight, he fought at 147. He fought Tank at 140. You see what I'm saying? Like, Mario Barrios was not ready for 135, was not ready for Gervonta Davis because he was weight drained. Same with Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia, who to me is probably going to move up to 147 in his next fight, was weight drained when he fought Gervonta Davis. It's just as simple as that. And so to me, Gervonta Davis just doesn't have that good of a resume. Does he perform knockouts? Does he perform on the biggest stage? Absolutely. Is he a good fighter? Absolutely. But if you guys are saying he's the face of boxing, we need to see more from his resume. And him versus Devin Haney is the fight that needs to be made next. And I actually predict that Devin Haney would win that fight. You know, I think a lot of people, they fall in love with knockouts, so they think knockout. But my thing is, Gervonta Davis is not the busiest puncher in the world. He doesn't throw a lot of punches. Devin Haney's a lot more busy. Devin Haney's a tremendous boxer with angles. He throws tremendous jab. So I look at it like this. Theoretically, if they're fighting, to me, I see Devin Haney winning most rounds because he's a lot more active on the offensive end. And Gervonta's just going to be sitting, waiting on his punches, waiting for that perfect mistake. Now, granted, like I just said, Ryan Garcia, not a smart fighter, makes mistakes. Rolly Romero, not a smart fighter, makes a mistake. Mario Barrios was weight drained. Gervonta was able to capitalize. I don't think Devin Haney will be weight drained, nor do I think Devin Haney's a stupid fighter. I don't see Devin Haney making the same mistakes as a Rolly Romero or a Ryan Garcia. Therefore, meaning I think he'll win a lot of rounds against Gervonta Davis. And we might be in a situation in that fight where we're in round 8, round 9, and Gervonta Davis realizes he's down on the scorecards and he needs a knockout to win, and he might be forcing the knockout. And even though he could possibly get a knockdown in the fight, I just think that this illusion that Devin Haney doesn't have a good chin because people saw him get rocked by Jorge Linares and people saw Lomachenko, knocking his head back. People think that his chin isn't the greatest. But to me, Vasily Lomachenko is a first ballot Hall of Famer, great boxer, better than anybody Gervonta Davis has ever stepped in the ring with by far. Better than Ryan, better than Rolly, better than Barrios, better than all those guys, and it's not even close. So to me, Devin Haney went up against a real challenge. I'm telling you right now, if Lomachenko went up against Gervonta Davis, that would be Gervonta Davis's hardest fight of his career, and it's not even a question, even at this age. But you notice Gervonta never took that fight. I'm telling y'all, Gervonta is really putting an illusion on the casual fan base's head. But the pressure should now be on Calvin Ford, Kenny Ellis, and Gervonta Davis. They haven't been active in over 8 months. Devin Haney's coming off a tremendous win. Casual fans might still say that Gervonta Davis is at the top of the chain right now. But after that performance, we have to admit Devin Haney is definitely ahead of Gervonta right now. And in order for Gervonta to end that narrative, he has to fight Devin Haney.